Hello, what's up guys, this is TonTon here and welcome back to my channel. So 3 days ago, up on the Transformer official fan page on Facebook, they said that they're gonna re-release some of the Beast War figures. So they said that this is somewhat of a restart, a vintage Beast War collection with Transformer vintage Beast War figures. So this is like another excuse for you to buy remote if you are considering to get them and to side by side with their Kingdom counterparts. And up on this list here we have Cheetor, we have Megatron, we have Rattrap, and finally we have Optimus Primal. And so today I'm gonna show you the vintage ultra class Optimus Primal. So this guy have appeared in my video once, which is my Transformer Optimus Primal Kingdom review. And so in this video I'm not gonna focusing on comparing this guy to Primal because I already did that in that video, so I'm gonna put a link in the description below for you to see. So upon this guy, so here we have Optimus Primal. This is the ultra class, and he is more on the toy side than a figure side in my opinion. And by that reason I mean that he got some really nice gimmick to play with. And so first I'm gonna show you which is his gun gimmick. So up to do that, you simply, there's this button here and you just plug it, then it reveals two guns, and they each have the old-fashioned style bullet rocket missiles in them. And so you to fire them, you just press the button like that, and they're still functioning very well considering that this is a pretty old toy. But more on that later onto the robot mode. And the other gimmicks I want to show you is that he can actually pound his chest. This is kind of a monkey thing, and that is really nice because they actually include a gimmick like that into the toys, which now we don't really see anymore with nowadays figures. So there's this lever over here, you just pull it down and push it up, and then you can see he's pounding. And enough of that, let's return to the monk. So for the first things I'm gonna show you is the face. So this is a really nice monkey face, and in my opinion it is more a normal monkey face, or should I say 2000s time of monkey face. You mean like back in that days whenever they're gonna design a monkey toy, this is the face. This is like the Wikipedia image that you're gonna find. This is like a monkey face. But in my opinion this is more like a gorilla to me, because Primal the show is more like an ape, if you know what I mean. Here I'm not like super good in biology back in high school, but you get the point. So there's a really nice face sculpt. You can see some menacing, some nose, and the eyes is red. And what surprised me is that despite this is a really old toy, the paint doesn't get scratched away. Or maybe I just good at keeping the figures intact. And more on that, if you turn it around, you can see that this is a pretty neat monkey butt. And I like the fact that they try to widen the monkey butt by adding the guns onto it, so it can cover up the legs, and that is really nice. That is something I don't see in Kingdom, and I really enjoy that aspect of this figure. And so otherwise it is just it. And possibility wise, this guy in this mode have the pounding chest mechanism you have seen, and of course you can move the arms around, that because that is also the robot arms, and the leg just kind of stay there. Like, to be honest, when I display Optimus Primal in this monk mode, I'm just gonna leave him like that. And enough of that, I think now it's time for us to get to some transformation. To begin with transformation, first off, you want to bring up this shoulder armor, and then you can bring the arm down, and then at this point you can flip this in and straighten the leg and bring this down. I really enjoy this aspect of flipping the toes inside to reveal the heels. That is a really smart engineering. And rotate the whole waist. And at this point you can bring this whole chest section, face section, and rotate it from the chest of the robot, and bring it down just like that, and there we go. So this is a fairly decent transformation. It's simple yet it's effective. I enjoyed the heels mechanism. It is really nice though. And also I enjoy the fact that the monkey face just rotate and you got a really clean chest plate. And so the whole chest section is intact, so you can hold the pounding mechanism. And in this robot form, I'm gonna show you. So just get this guy in position, and you can see he can still do the pounding, which is really nice though. So it also shows us that back in the days of this guy, they really care about the playing aspect of the toy rather than just having the figure itself, and that is not a bad thing, to be honest, because the thing is that while having movie accurate and figures nowadays with the studio series, the masterpiece, blah blah blah, I kind of miss the playing size of a toy. So like I can actually play with it. Some have some mechanism. I really somehow I miss that. It's a vibe of nostalgic, you know, back when you was a kid. And so back on the figures. So the difference between this guy and the image review by Hasbro is that he doesn't got his full mouth plate on, and I think that is a Beast War thing, because in Beast War Primal has his lips on, like that. And also, if you look at this guy, he doesn't really get too much paint, mostly just red and some blue, metallic blue, kind of metallic blue. And the face sculpt is excellent. I enjoy this face sculpt. It is really nice. And also I would prefer to have the color of the head a little bit darker. I would like to have that blue on the crotch. I like that blue on the crotch instead of this light blue, or maybe it's just dust covering it. I'm gonna brush this figure later. And talking about back to the gun mechanism, it can also be used in this mode, just pressing the button. And in this mode, when you press it, his weapon also falls out. So normally they will be tucked in here. Okay, so that is still safe, and I enjoy that at this here you got some kind of armor to the chest section. That's really cool, really nice features. And he can also wield his blade. So this is the blade, and it is just the same blade as we know, but instead this is a toy back in the day, so it doesn't got painted. And one thing I've always wondered is that which size of this do you wield in? You know, like that side or the other side? I'm really confused, but it's up to you, whichever ways. So to hold it, you just plug it onto his hand like that, and he can wield both of them at one hand at the same time. That is pretty nice. So one thing about the arms that I forgot to mention, which is my bad, is that if you're using the pounding gimmick, so this is lock. This is a lock position, so it cannot rotate. But if you want to rotate, there's this button here, so you just push it in, so it released, so you can have a normal swivel posing, which is pretty cool. And if you lock it again, this is a lock gimmick, so it is a lock mechanism, so that's pretty cool. And one more thing about the arms, this is really nice, because like this is exploring all the features, is that this arm can transform. I'm gonna use with this arm instead. So to do that, you first gonna unlock this and bring it out to reveal a blaster. This is really nice and cool. This is spring loaded, so it is really nice. And then you got this extra bullet, and that is really hard to pull. And you can just plug it in like that. So to fire them, you just 1, 2, and their function is still great. So that's really nice. So that is the left hand. Now get to the right hand. I'm gonna leave this here. So for the right hand, which is also really interesting, and to review a Paleotrix head mace. Okay, so this is the Paleotrix head mace, and it is pretty cool. Unfortunately, my Paleotrix is not nearby, so I'm not gonna compare. But then you know, they even have a string to pose it with. So like the amount of accessory on this guy is tons, which is really nice. This is really nice playing mechanism. And for now, let's have some size comparison. So for some size comparison, here we have the Ultra Class next to the Masterpiece, and you can see the Ultra Class is only slightly taller, but we got a bigger backpack if you're gonna rotate them around. But this is understandable because he is focusing, he got some gimmicks over there, so that is okay to me. So now for some other Masterpiece style figures, I'm gonna bring out the Primal, and I'm gonna bring in MP44. So as you can see, he's not that really short for MP44. He stands nearly to the chest of MP44. So I think this is a pretty good size. And also talking a little bit about the proportion of the body, I enjoy this proportion because I think the bigger arm makes him look really strong. And last but not least, let's get to some articulation. Now let's begin with some action and articulation. So for the head, first he can move up that far and not really down. Need some more joints so we can do a full rotation. His arms can rotate around. Ratchet joint. And I mentioned to you about the it can swing out like that. And I've mentioned to you about the lock here. So you got a full bicep swivel, but you have to unlock it. You got a 90 degrees elbow bend, over 90 degrees a little bit, and that should be it. And this is hollow, but I'm okay with that. So for the leg, you got a waist swivel, and this is a kick to the front, and this is a kick to the back, and it is blocked because of the backpack. This is the split, which is really nice, and this is the bend the knee, and up to the feet you only got this for transformation. You got no pivot whatsoever. So I mean, like, this is not a figure I would focusing on the posing size, but rather the playing side. I enjoy this guy as a figure that I can handle around on my boring night. And so if you're looking for something like Hasbro said, vintage, you can definitely add this guy up onto the next pre-order list of the re-release of this guy. So that should be it for today, guys. I'm gonna try to get back to you with the other vintage visual figures on this channel. And if you're new, feel free to subscribe and share this video. And also, I do most of my updates on Instagram, so follow me on that. And if you feel like you can help me out with the future figures, feel free to buy me a coffee. Link is in the description below. TonTon out.